Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about an update on the Sherry Franke book. We're going to look at Bonnie's video that shows that she's a complete and utter asshole because her last video was absolutely insane. We did some live snark on it. How she's nothing like her sister. She didn't respect her sister. She thought her sister was a bad mom. We're going to show you today that Bonnie's basically the same damn person. And I don't like her. But also the book is crazy and we got to find out who the hell Derek is. Let's go. Okay, so I've been listening to the book and I've got some notes here. What I do is when I listen to it, Audible allows you to do like little clips. You can do a clip of it. Because I have ADHD, I have to read books and snippets and tell you how about it as we go. So update on the book. Sherry's, it's insane because you expect to hear a lot about Ruby and everything else, and you do. But what we didn't expect was that there's a dude named Derek, which I'm pretty sure she changed the name of, which is weird to me because she didn't change the name of anybody else in this book except for Derek. And Derek used to be a neighbor of Bonnie's, and so he knew how bad she was. He knew what kind of person she was. But Derek was grooming Sherry, for lack of a better term, and understood because she's on the channel about what she's going through, and he used that to abuse her. In my opinion, it's a really, really hard topic, and it's not really any legal avenues that Sherry can pursue because Sherry was 18 when this was all going on, I think, or just at the end of 17 and going at 18. And this guy was like, I didn't want anybody to tell me it was because I didn't want it to be spoiled, but oh my gosh, this part of the book is the most heartbreaking thing for Sherry. Because I'm pretty sure that like a lot of girls go through this type of thing, and maybe not even just with older men, but like in men in general. And like I'm so scared for this world for my daughter, and I'm going to prepare my daughter to be a fierce, independent person who can go to me for anything, can speak to me about anything of this type of stuff. Because I would never want my daughter to ever go through this type of stuff. Sherry was on an island. She didn't have anybody she could go to, and this guy ended up being that guy that she could go to vent. But then he ended up just taking advantage of her in so many ways. It's disgusting. He would text her, "Are you around boys?" And he would she said she was having panic, so she's like, "We have to do skin to skin," and he made her take her clothes off, and he would like grope her. And she didn't really go into so much detail, but even just on that alone, whoever this Derek guy is a piece of shit, and he should be called out. And I understand why she doesn't want to. Victims often have a hard time calling out their victimizers. And those people, I was victimized when I was a child, and I didn't realize it until I was way older. And it was really hard for me to come to terms with it. I lived with a lot of guilt in my life for a lot of time. So hopefully in the future, she's brave enough to call this guy out, because apparently he's on social media and he's really wealthy and he's out there living his best life while he took advantage of somebody that was like decidedly living one of the most terrible existences on earth. And she could tell nobody. And so she gets this therapist and finally tells the therapist, but doesn't really give the therapist everything. Anyway, so I think she's obviously calling Derek out because this is her opportunity to take her bravery and do a stance on it. But she doesn't go so far to actually name him if that's not his true name, right? So maybe she's protecting herself from lawsuits. Maybe she feels guilty because she is an adult at that period in time and nothing was done illegally. Like you could like what Derek would probably say is it's done consensually. She's an adult. She said yes to these things. We did them. But what is disgusting is the power dynamic shift. This guy's a way older adult, likely high up in the church. I think totally was high up in the church and took advantage of her in that position. Like, I don't care what I know 18 is an adult. I understand that. I know it's legally that's an adult and there's nothing legally you can do about it. But there is morals to, especially if you're a Mormon, you can claim to be a Christian. The amount of women that are taken advantage of in these, in high positions from conservative Christians who are in fundamental religions, and that's Christianity, that's Mormonism, that's any fundamental type of religion like that. This happens all the time. How many times have we seen a youth pastor in a Christian church wait till the girl in his youth group ages into marriage and then they marry them? That happens a lot, and it's disgusting. Okay? And so this is that type of situation. Although nothing illegal went down, I feel like it's completely immoral and he should be completely called out for this. And he's a piece of shit for doing it. So that whole now I know why people want to know who Derek is. Who the hell is Derek? And people are looking for him and posting things. She doesn't want us to know, and so I guess it's not our place to know, but dang. It's insane what he did to her. Another thing that I was just saying F you to Jodi so many times. To have it here.
Out of the house, leaving the kids, Kevin sighed heavily. Yes, I'm leaving and taking Chad with me.
So the conversation here was Kevin had called her when she was hanging out at these people's house that she felt safe in, and Kevin's like, basically, I mean, there's so much. I can't even tell you. I want you to go read the book, but there's so much. But Kevin's like, basically, Ruby invites him to leave. This was Jodi's MO. She would get into people's marriages and she would say, we're inviting you to leave for at least a year to go better yourself because of perceived sins and this kind of thing. And she would make Kevin feel guilty about like hugging his daughter and say, you liked that, didn't you? Like, she was a disgusting piece of shit. And Kevin is obviously a beta cuck and just like took whatever his wife and like, again, there's like, he's a weak individual. He's just a weak piece of shit. That's the whole thing with Kevin. He's weak and he couldn't stand up to his own damn wife. And it's crazy. Even at his kid's expense, that's all I hear from this book. I know she's trying to be nice to him and she has a relationship with her father, but this guy he completely failed his children. He just left. He's like, we invite you to leave. And so he leaves. Doesn't kick up a fuss, doesn't get law involved, doesn't get lawyers involved for divorce and split, just leaves. Just like straight up probably felt, okay, fine. And he probably felt the weight off his shoulders for leaving. No more responsibilities. And so she calls it, she breaks down and cries about that. And she goes over to Chad's house and Chad's like, how did you find me? So Chad was like all on Ruby. Everybody was on Ruby's side except for, this is what I didn't realize. Everybody was with Ruby except for Sherry at one point. And Sherry was the outcast until obviously things broke down and they realized what was happening. But that's the power that Jodi and Ruby had over the family. Like, if you read this book, and you absolutely should go read this book, okay? The craziest part is that Ruby has been this way her whole life to all the children. She just rules over them and makes them want to hurt. She hates them. She doesn't, it's literally seeming like she hates her children. Like she wanted kids and then she had them and she hated them. It's so weird to me, this dynamic. So anyway, Kevin, he leaves and then again doesn't ever come back until obviously all this stuff. She realizes her mother has her money in the bank account, but we thought that Ruby stole it. I think in the book, Sherry says that she got it out, but then she realizes her mother took her off the insurance and everything else, just being super petty and disgusting. There's so much I'm missing, but this book is so involved, but it shows, what it really showed me was the power of cults, the power of Jodi over people. And again, I'm not trying to give her accolades here, but she was really damn effective at what she did. She made millions of dollars doing it. She made sure she was always the queen bee. No one ever had power above her. And if they were getting close, she would shut that shit down really quickly, like including Ruby. Okay, she basically had a sexual relationship with Ruby, and ugh. And while Kevin was in his marital bedroom, the other side, and she would like they were having a sexual relationship. And one thing that Sherry was saying is like they would preach on their channel Connections about having same-sex this and that, and then was living in distortion, yet they were absolutely having lesbian sex all the time. And like just disgusting pieces of garbage. So Jodi was a predator to like, and not to kids, but to like people, and use her power over them and her like indoctrination techniques and her like her ability to be like, I'm this person, and her cult-like personality to ruin people's marriages so she could go sleep with these women. And likely it happened to a lot of women. They just don't want to speak out about it because in the Mormon church, that's a point of shame and they don't ever want anybody to know. Even though it would stop her from doing it to other people. They don't care. Well, maybe they care, but they just, the shame stops them from doing it. So one thing I did get from this is that Jodi was really damn effective at what she did. She was really damn good at it. And most cult leaders are. Okay? Even at one point, Sherry was involved and was like, loved everything about Connections and everything until one day she didn't. Until one day she snapped out of it. And so everybody was on board for this thing. And, Chad, for whatever brother and sister thing, like Chad was throwing Sherry under the bus at every moment he could too. And Sherry just kept going back. It's this crazy dynamic. This dynamic is crazy. I think the Mormon church in general, what I've learned, especially from this book too, is that the Mormon church in general are a bunch of damn narcs. It's part of their culture to rat each other out. I'm not joking. Bishops exist so that you can go to them and tell them what other people are doing wrong, so that bishops can confront those people. At BYU, they have these, I don't know what it's called, but they have like, you can rat out your like fellow students and they can get kicked out of school and shit like that. The Mormons are actual rats. Like they don't it's all about, and that's the thing that's wrong with that is that's so judgmental. And you're inside of a Christian religion where judgment is saved for God only. Right? Like I understand that bishops stuff want to correct, and if you go to them and you say, hey, I'm having a struggle with this sin, and they can tell you, well, here's how we can fix this, and here's what's wrong with your heart. But ratting on other people is just a form of judgment. Okay, and it's gossip, and it happens, it's pervasive in all churches and all religions, by the way, not just Mormons. But Mormons specifically have like parts of their religion where it's like, that's what you have to do is rat on other people. And so that's just part of it. It's disgusting. So I've just got to the point where what's the point I'm at right now?
Her eyes glistening. Oh, sweetheart, she breathed, pulling me into a tight hug that nearly crushed.
Oh, she just met with her mother to get her documents for her car, and her mother was confronting her, and they left. And but Sherry's like asking these people she's staying with, can I call you mom and dad? It got a little weird there, but I'm going to call it out as it is. It's a little bit weird. Okay, but Sherry needed to go to a place where she felt safe, and she had that, thank God. But this Derek guy is still pervasive. I don't know how this thing ends, and I'm still in the middle of that. I've got a couple of drives coming up, which I like to listen to these books, so I will continue to update you on the book. It's hard to not listen to it and like say "F you, Jodi" every 2 seconds, like "F you, Ruby." It's so insane. "F you, Kevin." There's so many "F yous" I want to give out on this, and it's insane that Kevin didn't get any brunt of anybody's. He didn't get held accountable at all for any of the shit that he did. Don't ever forget, okay, that this guy just left willy-nilly, like willingly. He was told to leave, invited to leave, and left without putting up a fight. What kind of dad doesn't put up a fight for his kids? I'll never ever forget that. And doesn't really call out the aunts and uncles and everything else. And so that's where I am at the book right now. I really encourage you to go buy it and listen to it or read it. It's really, really, really good. And if Sherry did write this, and people are telling me she didn't have a ghostwriter, holy shit, she's a good author. Like, she is really, really good. And I read a lot of books, okay? I do. Like, all the time. I love great writing, and my favorite author is Bryce Courtney, and is probably one of the best, most... I just finished reading, listening to... I read too, don't get me wrong. I do. I listen because I do a lot of driving, but I just finished Handmaid's Tale. And Margaret Atwood is, wow. I mean, dry to a degree, but the way that she writes and explains things is so good. Wow. Margaret Atwood is very talented. Anyway, and Bryce Courtney is my favorite, but Sherry is a really good author. Like, if she did all this, my gosh, she's got a big, bright future ahead of her. So she does this interview, part 2 of the Good Morning America.
Start here this half hour with an ABC News exclusive. The eldest daughter of mom influencer Ruby Franke sharing her story about what it was like growing up in the years before her mom was sentenced to prison for child abuse. Sherry Franke has written a book about it, and we have more from Eva Pilgrim's talk with her.
Wearing. I think Jodi has a Little House on the Prairie kink. You know what I'm saying?
Including where she says their relationship stands right now.
I'm only going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
I invite you to go starving. I hate Ruby. Nobody likes you, Ruby.
Ruby Franke, once popular momfluencer, now...
You know she's going to write a book, too, from prison, and she's going to get paid for it.
A convicted child abuser. The case garnering headline after headline, captivating the country.
It has made things hard building relationships now that people can learn a lot about me just by looking me up online.
Nobody ever talks about this. I do. Lots of people do. Sorry. But the parents never talk about this. It really hurts her that you can learn a lot about her because her parents overshared on the internet. How many people out there are still doing this to their children? Everything about their children. How much can you learn about any kid that you watch? And if you're watching these things, why are you watching them? But just take this for example. How much can you learn about the Dr. Dozen's kids? Everything. You know every diagnosis they've ever had because she put it on the internet. How much can you know about Jess Fam's kids? Everything. Right? How much can you know about kids who are getting injured, like House of Hughes? You know every detail about that kid's diagnosis. Every single time they've been in the hospital, every injury. That's disgusting.
But I've been able to choose now what parts of my life I choose to share with the public and what I don't.
But now Ruby's eldest child, Sherry, detailing what she says it was like growing up with Ruby in her new memoir, The House of My Mother.
Keeping them home from school and wiping the floorboards would really bring pain.
A lot of narratives in the media kind of pinpoint Jodi as the reason that things went wrong and Ruby was good until Jodi came. But I wanted to show that that wasn't the case. And
it just got 12 times worse when Jodi showed up. So it was already bad. And it was terrible for their upbringing, all these children. And then Jodi made it so much worse. Just hearing of the nightmare, and then and if you go back and watch videos of 8 Passengers and the fact that they were living through all this, it will put a new refreshing light on everything, by the way. Okay, if you see it, not refreshing, sorry, a new fresh light on it. If you read Sherry's book and understand the horrors that these kids were going through in just normal everyday life and then watch the videos, that's the truth. And that's what you're watching. If you're watching these family vlogs, they're faking everything for the camera because likely in the back end, nothing is like that. What type of person does it take to do this? To show their entire lives? It takes a person like Ruby Franke to do that. And those people who are doing it, they're all inherently sort of like that to a degree. You have to be. That's the type of person you have to be to exploit your kids and show your entire life on the internet without shame.
That wasn't my experience.
Jodi Hildebrandt was her mother's mentor and her family's counselor who moved into the family home.
And her scissor sister.
Shortly after, her father moved out. Sherry says she was cut off from the family when she left for college.
It wasn't until I left for college that I, started looking up, what is a cult? What is spiritual abuse? What is emotional abuse? And it kind of all checked the boxes with things that Ruby had done.
In August 2023, a disturbing reality was revealed.
Look at that house.
Sherry's younger brother escaping, going to a neighbor's home.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs.
This 911 call,
That was so sad.
leading to her mother and Hildebrandt's arrest.
Look at this freaking defiant glare. And this is at the point where Ruby was like, no, I'm doing everything right. This is the face of a devil, okay? And this is the face of a demon. This is the devil sitting here thinking, no, I was right. I'm going to go to jail. Doesn't matter. I think what I did was right. And this is just going to be the devil coming, or this is God, or the devil that she thinks is good. She thinks God wanted her to do all that stuff. But the devil was putting her in prison. This is the defiant glare of someone who didn't give a shit of what she did. That's crazy.
Arrests.
What was hard is that I was kind of learning information about the case, as the world was finding out. I wanted to be told first, I was the family.
Are you proud of your little brother?
I think, yes, the whole world is proud of him.
Franke and Hildebrandt both pleaded guilty to 4 counts of child abuse against the 2 youngest children. They will serve at least 4 years in prison.
If they get out at 4 years, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't think I'll ever get an apology.
I hope that the kids get every bit of Jodi's wealth. I hope they take every penny that she's worth. I hope that, I don't know if the house has been sold since. I think they stopped the sale of it. I hope that the kids inherit everything that Jodi has and that she lives under a bridge for the rest of her life. Because they will get out eventually. I don't know after 4 years, but maybe 10. But they should live in squalor. They should live in a trailer down by the dumpsters. That's where they should live.
I don't need an apology. I've worked through that. Lots of therapy, lots of inner work, and again, whether she apologizes or not, it's not gonna change my healing.
And she does write to you from prison.
She wrote to me once, and yeah, she hasn't written since. I think she gets the idea that we don't want to hear from her.
Kevin,
I'd right back with just draw a middle finger.
your father, who you refer to as Kevin in the book, you are speaking to him. And what's that relationship like now?
That relationship is really important to me, and that broke my heart, to be kind of disowned by that and not be able to speak to him.
Kevin Franke telling ABC News he's proud of his daughter. The recently engaged Sherry telling us she is focused on rebuilding her family relationships and the future.
Do you want to be a mother?
I do want to be a mother, for sure. I told myself when I was young, even before Jodi, I'm not going to be like Ruby. I'm going to be a better mother.
For Good Morning America, Eva Pilgrim, ABC.
People like Sherry and people like me who grew up in abusive homes, that's something that I take pride in, is that I just did everything opposite of how I was raised. And I don't touch drugs. I don't drink. I've never touched alcohol ever once because I just see the danger of how gross it is and what it does. And I don't judge people for drinking either. There's lots of people in my life, and a lot of people drink. Almost everybody I know drinks. But I don't, just because I don't ever want to ever become close to anything like that. It's just, anything I had a negative experience with when I was young, like weed, drugs, smoking, drinking, all that kind of stuff, I have a major, major negative connotation towards, and I would never touch it myself, right? So Sherry's obviously never going to be like her mother. But you know who is like Ruby? Bonnie. And Bonnie swore up and down when she did her video from the RV, the $150,000 RV that they bought so they could escape to the Keys, take their kids out of school, out of their brand new mansion that they have their whole life, and just escape to it because Bonnie wants to escape. Bonnie's exactly like Ruby. And when she sat in that video and said, I'm nothing like my sister, I actually didn't like my sister, I don't think she was a good mother, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's odd that you said that. Hey, Bonnie? Odd that you said that, because not only did you copy your content, but you made posts like this. Look at this. Bonnie Hoellein writes, I just know this is going to be a very good year for you. You work so hard and you're so dang smart. I always learn so much from you, Bonnie says about Ruby. I learned so much from you. Recently, you told me just to let my kids be heard. Just listen. It is very simple advice, but I can tell you it's made a big difference. So were you not listening to your kids before? And then is the advice you're taking from Ruby, who's been abusing her kids since they were born, that's the advice you're looking for? You admitted that you said that she's always been abusive. And yet here you are making a public post, hugging your sister, saying, I take her advice. You're such a liar. And every time you get called out on a lie, do you not feel embarrassed a little bit, Bonnie? Ever? Not a little bit? You're just a piece of shit. And the fact that she tried to justify exploiting her own children because it's different, and that like, oh, if you share a picture of your kid on Facebook, it's just the same as her, not realizing that, no, the reach matters, fame matters, all that matters. She's such a cop-out lying douche bitch. I hate her. She's so bad at this. Bonnie is exactly like Ruby. And we can see all the videos lining up their personalities almost to be the exact same type of person. And she cannot get away from this. It's never going to happen. Another video people were pointing in my direction was this video of, I'm not sure it was, I forget, I think it was a connections video or something. But they're showing, it's a promo of some kind. And everybody's like, look, she's giving the help sign in the background of this video. That's not the help sign. I checked, it's not. And it looks like she's just looking at her sister saying 3. So people are looking into it and they're disseminating it. But that's the danger of putting your life on the internet, because if shit goes sideways, people are going to be like disseminating your videos with a fine-tooth comb. People who like you will let you get away with a lot of things. They won't disseminate your shit with a fine-tooth comb. They're not looking for those types of things. But when you put everything on the internet and something goes sideways, then everything gets disseminated with a fine-tooth, like every detail, always. And you know who's in those details? Your children. So that's why you can never get informed consent or give it, because you don't know what lies ahead, especially with the content you put on the internet. So Bonnie, and so for the content, this is ear piercing at Claire's. People said to watch this video if you really want to know who she was at the beginning, because apparently this tells a lot. It's called Ear Piercing at Claire's.
Good morning, you guys. Today has been
She's so cocky about who she is. And look at her eyelashes.
a much better day. My spirits have been lifted.
Well, then the house should be happy because Bonnie's okay.
And Ginger from Carl and Ginger Vlogs, they sent me these flowers and they made me so happy. The doorbell rang. I was in my robe. It was pretty early in the morning, and when I got the flowers, I'm like,
I hate this woman. When you realize how evil Ruby is, and then you see those types of things in Bonnie, it's so telling. You should see it.
Like, it just made me so giddy. It just made me so excited. Anyway, she sent those to say sorry about the passing of my aunt. And I talked to my mom this morning and I told her, I'm like, why do I feel so emotional? And she's like, Bonnie, she was a huge part of our life. She has been in our life.
I'm sure she also vlogged the funeral of whoever died. She's done it a lot.
Life, and she was probably physically the closest one to my mom. She lived close to us for a long time anyway. So
this is pre-Ozempic, by the way.
I thought these were so pretty, and the one thing that I really loved was the vase that they came in.
Okay,
I have never seen a vase like that, and the thing that I love about it is that it looks like my Fenton stuff. I don't believe it's Fenton.
Because this little bowl costs $75,000.
If it is, so these two.
It's ugly. What's Fenton? It's ugly.
Items are both Fenton. Anyway, it is. My gosh. But anyway, thank you very much for lifting my spirits, Ginger. You are a very good friend to me.
See how normalized it is for her to be on camera and the kids don't even like. It's just like that's life. That's so telling. That's so scary for me.
Thank you. Oh, are you? No. Don't make messes. No. See, look. That's naughty. You don't do that.
Oh, jerk.
Just called this kid a jerk.
No.
I wouldn't dare call a baby that, but...
A jerk?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say howdy doody to my little Linky because guess what? We're taking you over to a babysitter. We're gonna take you over to a babysitter.
Guess what? Mom, she will tell you what's happening today.
I will.
She was about to say it, but she just realized, because Bonnie probably went like this. And guess what? And Bonnie went like, she's going to tell you what happened. Because that, like, right there, that little snippet right there. The kid was excited to say something. You know, Bonnie was like, and then she changed instantly.
Oh, what is happening today?
And because it was something eerie.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't include. It does not include Lincoln running around a Claire's store and demolishing the entire store.
Can we not get our children's ears pierced at Claire's? Just pay the money and go to a proper ear piercing place. Can we? Like, can we? Like, I know it might hurt. Like, you can get the cream on it and stuff, but they pierce it with a needle. It's cleaner. It's safer. It's not a. Like, can we normalize that? Like, if you're gonna. And again, I let my kid choose when they were older. I wouldn't pierce a baby's ears. I think that's actually cruel. And a lot of people do that and they get upset for me for saying that, but I think that's cruel. I'm sorry. There's just no need for a baby to have earrings. No need. No need. And you can't be like, it's cultural. No, it's not. That's stupid. Okay? Don't be dumb.
When I was
Shit!
growing up.
It's not funny. I hate this person. It's not funny.
Okay, when I was growing up, anytime we went somewhere or we were approaching grandma's house, it was like, okay, everyone stop in the car. You do what dad tells you. You listen to mom and dad. You do not touch this. You do not do that. Like, you will behave in there.
It's Grandma and Grandpa's house. You swear you're allowed to be feral. You should be feral like Grandma and Grandpa. You should be allowed to have some fun. See, this type of family, they're telling you things that... I'm glad she documented it all for us. You listen to Dad. You don't do anything. It's Grandma and Grandpa's house. They should be slipping you $20 bills and feeding you full of sugar. That's what Grandma and Grandpa's are for. What are you saying? Be polite. F off. I'm not going to be that type of Grandma and Grandpa. We're going to be like, hey, we'll take your kids. We're going to fill them full of sugar and send them home. We're going to have a great old time. What's this being proper at Grandma and Grandpa? Get wrecked.
To look at you even one time, like that kind of a thing. And that's kind of roll. Did your parents do that?
I think we just knew.
You just knew?
I think we just knew. You just don't.
Yeah, so as we're prepping the boys, I want you really to listen.
It's not.
Good boy.
I don't have underwear on.
When we go into this
I don't have underwear on, is what he said.
store, you do not pick anything up. You can look at things, you can think things are cool, but we do not pick anything up, okay, boys?
Yes.
Nothing like Ruby, eh? Again, I understand, like, you don't want your kid touching everything. The kids. Let them be kids.
Austin, okay, we are here for Olivia, so I want you to behave. And if Dad says, shh, you stand right by him and you behave and listen. Do you
I'm nothing like Ruby.
understand?
You sound like a bitch here.
Olivia, no scream.
Why are you putting this on camera, by the way? I'm glad you did, because we could see that you're like this. But, like, why would you put this on camera? Are you happy that you're, like, a lame rain on the parader? Are you happy that you're a shit? Yeah, okay.
And crying when you get your
Like, see, they're proud of the way that they're, like, a bunch of shit asses.
pierced. Okay?
Okay.
I know, Bonnie, no screaming and crying when Olivia gets her ears pierced. We just walked into Cow Ranch and they have their baby chicks. Olivia, would you rather have baby chicks or get your ears pierced? Okay.
Oh, so cute.
What do you think? Are those so cute?
They're looking at me.
Were they looking at you? Do you remember last time we came and a dog scared you?
You gotta stop chin laughing.
Look, they're trying to get my head. Mommy,
It's like she's on a roller coaster.
Oh my goodness.
they're for sale?
Yeah, you can buy them.
$1.49 for a chicken?
Oh, can we buy
Really? $1.49.
one?
Do you remember
I'm pretty sure I checked this winter,
when you
and they were like $15 a piece.
guys had some?
Yeah, we used to have chicken.
Do you remember when this Easter bunny brought you some? Cody, do you remember? All right, you got.
Cody Jodi, pay attention. We're doing a vlog.
Guys, we are here. We are officially getting Olivia's ears pierced today, and this is a really big deal. I got my
Ew, you're like gross when you do this. Oh,
when I was 8, and
people who film this, their children getting hurt, can just kiss my ass.
Olivia's whole life, we've told her,
Both cheeks.
you can get your ears pierced when you're 8.
After I eat farty meatballs.
And she'll be 8 this summer. But since she was such a good girl and broke a really hard habit to break, we're gonna get her ear
Listen to, and you broke this really bad habit. We're gonna get you rewarded.
today, and this is a really big deal for me. She's my only baby girl. This is the first and last time I will be doing this, and that it's like it does like put a lump into my throat. But
It's ear piercings. Relax.
I'm really excited. I hope she's excited. I know she's excited. No, you have to have. No, they have to be little studs. These are horrible ones.
Kind of like these and these and these.
No, even smaller than that. I'll show you the ones. Joe, what do you think?
I think we're at a mall with a person that's been trained for 1 hour on how to pierce people's ears with a gun. That's what I think.
I have the same look she does on my face.
Oh, there's a little girl over there that's like.
Not even happening to me.
Because you have a camera in the store. That's why.
Hey, give her sister, look at this.
Is this pre-chin surgery?
You guys tell me. The Parent Trap.
Oh.
A lot of you guys did say, you're like, don't go to Claire's, get her ears pierced, take her to an actual like shop. And she heard me over talking with someone on the phone asking me what they thought. And Olivia was like, I want to go to the same place that you went to. I want to go to the same place that Abby and Julie went to. She wanted to come to Claire's because she's...
Like you give a shit what your kids want to do.
I'm here, and I thought, well, they couldn't have done too bad. They've done mine and everybody else's I know. So.
Maybe that's the problem. Everybody's getting their ears pierced at Claire's, and maybe it causes brain damage.
Oh, someone just got theirs and she's crying.
This is your birthstone. That's the month you're born in. That's July, and that stone is a ruby. Yeah, this one these ones are big, so they might catch on your pillow for the first little bit, because you have to sleep with them for the little bit.
Yeah, you don't want the oldest of we just want the little kids. You see that little girl?
She's already bawling her eyes out. She hasn't even started because the other kid was freaking. Again, don't film this shit.
Oh, she was crying. And then after a few minutes, she stopped crying. She's a little kid.
And she's just a little kid.
So you'll be able to...
It's at this point, I think, as a parent, if your kid's scared, you're just like, look, we'll come back when you're not so scared. I wouldn't force my kid to do this.
You're a big girl.
It's going to hurt for
And they have a vlog to do, so this has got to get done.
just a second, and then it's not going to hurt anymore after that.
It's okay when you do nervous, huh? Okay, I'm just going to have you sit up nice and straight and scoot your bum all the way to the back of the chair. Perfect, just like that. All right, and just like just a tiny bit. This is just the marker part, right? So do that, okay? I promise, I don't think it's quite as scary as you think. Go ahead and look up just a tiny bit. There you go. There you go. Take straight towards me, okay?
Olivia.
This is where you stop. This is where a kid, if you want your child to have autonomy and you want them to have a little bit of power over their life. I've told this a million times as a dad. I love tickling my kids. Okay, I love wrestling with them and having fun. But if my child is being tickled and they say stop, like that's been one thing in my life. I'm like, yeah, I will stop. Because I want them, when they say stop, they know that that means stop and the person should stop. Right? And I know that's just a little thing that I do, but I want to make sure that they understand, like they say stop. And then if my kids are wrestling or having doing craziness and they say stop and they don't, I like, what does no mean? What does stop mean? Like it's important for my kids. So when you're doing something like this and the kid is clearly about to have a freaking mental breakdown, maybe it's time to go somewhere else, right? And say, hey, look, here's what we do. We numb the ears. You won't even feel it. No, you're going to go to, she's like, my daughter wants this. You don't give a shit what your daughter wants.
That's for me.
Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Look.
And the fact that they kept this on camera and left it in is they're gross. Just gross. Nothing like filming a kid's trauma. Remember, she's like, if my kid doesn't want to be on camera, you think your kid wants to be on camera at this moment when she's bawling her eyes out? You think that she wants this? Is this consent?
Look at that. Look at that. You just gotta be tough, just for a minute. Look.
3 seconds.
And then you'll have your pretty earrings for life, for the rest of your life.
Hear what she just said there. I don't want to. Right there at that moment, a good parent would say, okay, next. We'll figure it out. When you're brave enough another day, we'll come back or we'll go in another place that's better. She said, I don't want to. So you have an opportunity here as a parent. I know that sometimes our kids don't want to do things and we like, you're doing it. Like clean your room. You want to do your chores. I get that. Right? But when it comes to something like this, that's personal, it's going to cause pain. That's a little bit different. You know, there is no reason for her to have her ears pierced. It's not something that she needs. Okay? It's different when they're like, eat your vegetables. They don't want to. You're like, oh, okay, no, you're eating your vegetables because those are good for you. You know, you're doing your chores, builds character. You're going to do those things because it's important to understand the dynamic of power and hard work. It's really good. Okay, you're gonna help me do this thing in the garage because it's really good that you're gonna learn to help people. You're gonna be generous with your money because I think that's important, right? You're gonna learn how to save money. Things, all these things. Kids don't want to do half these things. You don't want to go to bed sometimes, but you do those things. But this, there's literally no benefit, zero. And if they have this moment to say, hey, look, I'm scared, I don't want to do this, this would be a great time as a parent to be like, okay, learning moment.
We're gonna do it.
And she's just loving this content filming.
Yeah. Hold your mom dad's hand.
She doesn't want to. Walk away.
Teddy bear, go. Do you want to hold the teddy bear to your head? That might make me feel better sometimes.
I don't want to do my ears. I don't want to.
You're
Listen to her.
I have matching shoes, huh? Me too. Those are cute. Did you plan that on purpose? Yes.
Matching Toms.
That's awesome.
So cute.
They're just trying to distract her, and she said she doesn't want to, and they don't give a shit what their daughter says. This is telling. So I'm glad whoever told me to watch this, I'm watching this. Because this tells you everything you need to know about them. They don't care what their kids want. They don't. They just want content.
Now you can have matching earrings too.
You're doing so good, honey.
Okay.
Keep your hands.
She's literally forcing her to do this at this point. I mean, people at Claire's need to be trained better. Be like, hey, she doesn't want to, we're not going to do this. Because if she jitters and does this, if we have to literally force her down, we're not piercing her. That's dangerous. Unbelievable they're about to force this kid to do this.
Olivia.
Olivia.
Yeah, okay. When y'all count to 3 and then we'll count for it.
No, Olivia.
She doesn't want to do it. Like, is this not pissing anybody else off? Am I the only one mad about this?
You're okay.
Olivia, you're gonna be okay.
You're doing so
I
good.
promise you'll be okay.
You really are.
It's gonna feel funny, but it'll be fine. Mom's right behind you. Okay.
Look at her, Bonnie shaking her head. Like nothing like Ruby, eh? Nothing like her, eh? Nothing. You're exactly like her. Look at her, she's super upset.
I just want to feel
Look how mad she is right now. You just walk away. Hey, you know what? It's okay to change your mind about things. That's also something you teach your children. Look, if it's something that you were brave about before and then you don't want to do now, you know what's okay? It's okay to change your mind. A lesson that you did not teach your child right here.
Okay, so
Olivia. Just like that. That's what it's gonna feel like. But you get an earring afterwards.
Yeah, just like that. That's perfect. And then 3 seconds.
Okay. Don't move.
You gotta stop! You gotta stop at this point. You have got to stop.
Olivia, you're right.
Look how pissed Bonnie is. Oh my gosh, they kept this on the internet after sitting there crying in an RV about how she's nothing like her sister. I didn't see any passenger shit like this, by the way. This is disgusting that they left this on the internet.
Okay.
It's disgusting they filmed it to begin with.
Olivia.
Look, she doesn't want to. Walk out. You can be pissed and be like, hey, look, we're not, and she's upset. Like, this kid is bawling her effing eyes out and she is livid. What kind of parenting are we? These people want to give people parenting advice? Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of sweat going on in here right now, I feel like.
No, we see
Everybody's a little bit sweaty. Bonnie's sweaty.
And I know it's ridiculous, like our cameras.
I know. Hear what she just said? I know it's ridiculous because our camera's out. She's like, do it. Just do it. I know it's ridiculous because our camera's out. We vlog, she says. That's what she said. We vlog. Do ya? Those people should be walking away. No, she doesn't want it done. We're not doing it.
I want to like go right now.
I want to go home. Why? Because she's scared, asshole.
I don't want to make you mad. Like you're mad. You don't want me to get mad.
Hear what she... Oh my gosh. Thank you, whoever sent this video to me. I don't want to. You're mad. You're mad. That's what she's saying. Oh my gosh. This child is having a hard time with something, and all she cares about is that it's going to make you mad. And you don't think that Bonnie's anything like Ruby? Because read the book and tell me that's not the same thing. That these kids, people like Sherry, were super scared to not do something their mom wanted because it would make their mother mad. Would make their home life hard. Bonnie's super upset and showed it in this video multiple times. And the kid just outright admitted, I don't want to make you mad. Yeah, you were. You were mad. And you're just feeling guilty because she just called you out in camera.
The one thing I don't want you to do is be naughty for these girls.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. What kind of girl are you raising? Do you know what she just said? I don't want you to be naughty for these girls. This child is changing her mind on something that's going to cause her pain. That's not going to give her any benefit at all. There's no benefit to this pain. Okay? She changed her mind, and you are forcing her to do it on camera by saying, don't be naughty. What are you teaching your daughter? Some dude eventually comes and tries to coerce her to do something she doesn't want to do. What she's going to do in this core memory is realize, oh, I don't want to be naughty. I should just do the thing. That's how Ruby raised Sherry, by the way, if you read the book. That is absolutely disgusting. You should have walked away already. This shouldn't even be going on right now. I am flabbergasted. I'm not surprised, though, because that's who she is.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Let's count how many times his daughter said, I don't want to.
Well, in case any of that wasn't clear, I'm going to just do a...
Look at the attitude on her right now. Look at this. Look how upset she is that her daughter changed her mind. In case that wasn't clear, let me do a follow-up at the house now. Because you know they didn't do a follow-up in the car on the way home because she freaking was upset at her daughter for changing her mind. This is disgusting. And you think that you're better than Ruby?
Quick recap for you. Olivia begged to get her ears pierced.
She's a child. And so the irony is going to be lost on her, right? See, what she wants, but she didn't want it. Hey, that sounds like something else, like when the kids say they want to be in vlogs. Do they really want to be, though? Right? Because you can never know.
I took her in to get her ears pierced. She sat in the chair, absolutely refused to get her ears pierced. After...
Because she's frightened, you butthole.
40 minutes of trying to convince her that it's not going to hurt. It's
Don't be naughty.
going to be okay. She decided she was not going to get her ears pierced. And
you're upset with your giant lips. You're upset. Are you? What you could have, this vlog could have been so much better. Being like, you know what? It made me realize as a parent that this was a teaching moment, that when my daughter changes her mind, that's okay. That's okay to change her mind. Especially when it comes to like life altering decisions. This would have been a learning moment. We sat down with her, said, hey, you know what? I'm glad we had this moment together as a parent. I'm learning that I'm glad you changed your mind because I want you to know that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay. But you know what? She's pissed that her daughter changed her mind about something because the vlog. The vlog she didn't get the ears pierced at the end for the vlog. That's what she's upset about. Oh my gosh.
so we took the earrings out of the ears piercing gun and paid for them.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? I guarantee she's going to make her daughter pay for those.
And she then decided, yes, I'm going to get my ears pierced. I promise I will not throw a fit. I will not cover...
Look how angry she is at her daughter.
...my ears with my hands. And at this point, my armpits are pretty wet. I am...
Oh, sorry that your armpits are wet. Are you going to be okay? Holy shit. How does she not get canceled for shit like this? How is she still out there making vlogs? Look how upset she is that her daughter changed her mind about something that doesn't make a lick of difference for anything. It's not like she changed her mind about what school to go to or like anything that's like she's just an ear piercing. And you didn't see this as an opportunity to be a good parent? That's crazy to me.
A little fumed. Just
little, eh? A little?
Because of the way she was acting. I don't know. So
she's 8. You fucking asshole. She's 8.
We sat down. She sat on my lap. We were going to get her ears pierced. She was going to be good.
We know, we saw.
The second they started coming in for those ears, she flipped out. I am not going to do this. No way, no how. So I said, okay, I pay for the second pair of earrings. Let's go, kids. I called...
You savage asshole.
My mom, and I said, if that was me, what would you do?
Look how angry she is. Look how apoplectic? I don't know what the word is, but she's pissed. You know that daughter's in her room crying right now, probably grounded, likely has to be forced to pay for the earrings that she want to do. You know that daughter's having a meltdown right now. This just could have been a great opportunity for a bonding moment, and that daughter now hates her even more. Like, the audacity of Bonnie to be out there being like she's a good mom, and nothing like Ruby. Look at this attitude she got. I invite you not to eat dinner. I invite you to and I called my mom and said, what would you have done? Well, I would have beat you with a belt. Okay, well, maybe I should do that. Are you kidding me? You guys are clearly raised wrong.
What would you do if that was me? Go down and love her. She's a little girl that got scared. And she said, why don't you pierce your dolly's ears? And I thought, okay, that's a good idea. So
she wasn't looking for that answer from her mom.
I think I'm going to go down. Once the room is clean and...
So the daughter has this meltdown moment. completely like this is a core memory, and gets home and look at this smug bitch's face. Makes her daughter do all the chores instead of having a great week. You probably said something like, we could have had a great moment, blah blah blah, but now you can go downstairs and you can do this, that, and the other thing. White floorboards, clean your bedroom. Like, look at the smug. Oh my gosh. Ugh, Bonnie.
Visit with Olivia for a minute. Someone is going to get their ears pierced today because I have earrings.
Look at this daughter. She's still just completely ruined.
So someone is going to get their ears pierced.
Ew.
Do you see this little dolly? This was my mom's doll. And you see her little pretty leather jacket.
Why is your...
Leather shoes, they're real. They're real leather jacket and real leather shoes. Well, my mom decided that she needed her little ears pierced. And do you know what those are? Those are push pins. For little sewing needles.
Again, if it's about the pain, you come up with an alternate solution. Hey, there's a piercing place down the road. There's this cream called TKTS, I think it's called. I did it for my tattoo. You put on your ears, like, I don't know how long you have to put on your ears for, but you wouldn't feel a thing. You put it on their ear. You don't even have to go that day. Just try the TKTS cream. Put it on the ear. Once it's on for like an hour, do this. Can you feel anything? No. Right. So when we go get your ears pierced, you're not going to feel anything. There's ways you can do this. She's clearly afraid of pain.
My mom pierced her ears. Isn't that cute?
Bonnie is such a bitch. Even here, when she's trying to be a good mom, she's just being a complete dickhole. It's... Oh, my man. Come here. How's my buddy? My man Sam. My man Sam. Oh, good boy. He's a good boy, Sam. You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
And if you are not going to have your little ears pierced, you're going to hold Melanie.
This kid is, like, again, this is gross. This kid is obviously still not over what's going on, has been crying all afternoon, and she forces her to come on camera again. Oh, the audacity of this bitch.
And we're going to pierce Melanie's ears. Is that okay with you? Is it? You guys, Joel
doesn't even do it.
is gone for the evening, so I've got the kids. I'm going to get the kids all fed and put down for dinner. They are having leftover soup. I'm heating it up on the stove right now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
I hate Bonnie. And if you're wondering why Bonnie did that video about why she did that book, it's because there's 175,000 views. That's why she did it. She needed views. Because look at her view counts on any other video. And she just released another one. 6,000 views. Like, she's never going to get this. Right? But I want to see the comments on that ear piercing. And then they did another video like a year later. And she finally did. It took a year. And then, like, again, they see this getting 3.3 million views on this video. Holy shit. Piece of garbage. But look at that, 3.4 thousand downvotes. That's pretty big for a video that's this old, 2017. And people are just laughing. Like, people laughing. And I'm sure all the comments have been deleted by now. So there you go, everybody. This is the downvote for my thoughts on Sherry's book. 4.4 thousand downvotes for 6,000 upvotes. And if you read the comments, which are 537, which is crazy for that many views, she's deleting all negative comments. All of them. Beautifully said, sending prayers, thank you for this, hi Bonnie. But that's odd that you have only positive comments when you have 4.4 thousand downvotes. Interesting, right? Very, very telling that Bonnie puts videos out that make her look exactly like Ruby, if not worse. That was disgusting display of parenting. And I know some people have gotten their kids' ears pierced and you got all the way to the mall and you want to do it. I'm sometimes like, can we just like take this as a learning lesson? If you're going to take something away from this and there's a silver lining, just don't do what any of these people do. You've got an opportunity here to teach your daughter or son about the importance of changing the mind and consent, and you don't? That's pretty crazy. And the only way she did it is because you had to pay for it twice and then you just left in a huff and then made her do chores when she got home instead of consoling her about it's okay to be afraid of pain. Unbelievable. Everybody take a deep breath. Bonnie's an asshole. Right? But you're not. You're amazing. Thanks for coming to this video. I appreciate you being here. Tell me what I should throw up in the city. We can add some more stuff or change the background or whatever. Got my white glove here. Where's Alicia? She's right there, peeking over the building. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. You're amazing, incredible, and valuable. Don't forget it. And I will see you when I see you.